welcome back. This is so exciting, you guys. So many of you have reached out via Facebook and YouTube and email, and it's actually kind of overwhelming. So we just want to say thank you so much.
Seriously, thank you. And thank you for liking and sharing these videos on the socials. Apparently, there are a lot of Airbnb hosts like you who really want to up their hosting game. So that's super exciting and gratifying for us.
So, hello. We're Levi and Shayna. And after 5 years of hosting and co-hosting,
and earning over $500,000,
and helping dozens of other hosts create successful Airbnb spaces, increase their profits, and streamline operations, we launched Airbnb My Space as a resource for hosts like you.
for hosts who want to run a fun and profitable business, get better results, earn more, and spend less time, and avoid some of the more painful aspects of being an Airbnb host.
And we are so glad you're here with us today.
We've received some really great questions, and I want to begin today by answering one of those questions. Will asked what was/is your process to furnish those apartments when you did get them under contract.
How to furnish your Airbnb on a budget is definitely something we're going to cover in detail in the Masterclass. But here's the short answer.
We had just under $5,000 to fully furnish and decorate 2 spaces, and that's not a lot. So here's how we did it.
First, we sat down and defined each space. Who was our ideal target guest? Why were they here? And what did they want in an Airbnb?
We gave both spaces a name that worked for that target market, that target guest. We defined the style, the colors, and the theme for each. Not cheesy or over-themey, but just a general aesthetic guideline, so each space had its own distinct vibe.
And 1 month before we planned to occupy the space, we rented a storage unit with a first month free deal.
That was awesome. We made a list of everything we needed. All the big ticket items, your beds, your couches, tables, chairs, linens, kitchen stuffs. And then we went shopping.
On such a limited budget, we headed straight to Habitat's Restore and our favorite thrift stores. And Craigslist was great for specifics like beds, futons, a cowboy-themed rustic table.
That was actually hard to find, but we did find it.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
TJ Maxx came through with some of the modern and cowboy decor, and I think we even found some great decor items at a neighborhood yard sale.
After 30 days, we had a storage unit full of everything we needed. So we rented a U-Haul and moved it into our 2 spaces.
Catch that? After 30 days. That was your free month. I
Yeah.
think we had to pay for the lock and something else, but that was it. Now, this required a bit more time than IKEA or Rooms to Go, but knowing that multiple guests were going to use the space, we didn't mind furnishing it with high-quality used stuff, so long as it was clean, functional, and fit the theme of the space and our budget.
So, after 30 days of looking and really just 1 day of move-in,
It was intense.
2 spaces went from bare walls and floors to guest ready, all for a little less than $5,000.
Thanks again for that question, and look for more on that topic and plenty of other topics in the Masterclass.
Today, we want to share a few of the techniques we've used over the years to attract guests and stay booked as much as possible.
The first step, like we mentioned before in answer to Will's question, is to make a plan.
Start by considering the different things that bring people to your area. What are your potential guests coming for? Is there one main attraction, or are there many? Either of those can work for you.
If there's one main draw, try to tailor your space and your listing to a guest interested in that. Speak to it in the listing. Design the space to cater to the people who will be in town for that. And maybe even have some fun little extras for the superfans. In one of our spaces, because we're in Nashville and we attract a lot of kind of cowboy, country-themed, country music fans and bachelorette parties, we outfitted one of our spaces with just a bunch of cowboy hats that they can pop them on, wear, take a selfie, and yay.
And if there are lots of things that might be bringing folks to your area, it'll be more of a working test in the beginning.
So we set out to attract certain types of guests to certain spaces, and thankfully our predictions were right. Our larger cowboy roadhouse themed space does draw bachelorette parties, and our modern minimalist themed 1-bedroom unit does attract parents from the nearby universities. The trick is to tailor your specific space to the guest who most often ends up booking.
And that's going to depend on a few things. 1, location. 2, the number in the party / how many folks you can sleep in your space. 3, the general vibe of the space. And 4, how you present and write about your listing on Airbnb.
Which brings us to the name. What's in a name? A lot, actually.
both with our own spaces and with the spaces we've consulted and co-hosted with. It's super important to give your space a real name, not a description, not a long wordy title, but something quick and catchy that they can remember, they can call by name, and they can feel like they've reached a destination.
It's just like anything. Nobody wants ice cold fizzy caffeinated sugar cola. People want a Coke. Nobody goes to cartoon theme park city with beach views. They go to Disney World.
It's much easier to say in a review, we had the best time at the Asheville cottage, than it is to say we had the best time at Diane's 2-bedroom spacious bungalow in the mountains. So giving your space an easy to remember name, possibly funny or witty, can also make you more memorable when people are sifting through the thousands of spaces in your city. They'll see scores of 3-bedroom with a great views, but will they see another oasis of the South? Probably not. One of the most popular Airbnbs ever is called the Urban Cowboy. It's a catchy, memorable name, a beautiful space, and people can Instagram it, Facebook about it, check in when they're there, and tell people about it. So making your space a place that people want to talk about starts with having a meaningful name that makes them feel like they've arrived at an actual destination.
That's right. Another way to get more bookings is to have great but honest photographs. You want to strike that balance between having professional, well-lit photos, like we talked about in the first lesson, and having honest, accurate photos. The last thing you want when your guest walks in is for them to be underwhelmed or disappointed because your space doesn't look like the photos. Remember, under-promise, over-deliver.
One of the dangers of using professional photographers, even the ones sent by Airbnb, is the wide-angle lens, making your space look bigger than it actually is.
This is also true on dating sites.
So, if we have a photo where that happens, we write really honest captions. One of our spaces has an unusually tiny bathroom, and the photos make it look normal-sized. So we caption it, "Don't be deceived, this is the tiniest bathroom in all of the city," or something like that.
It is.
And you can't be sure they'll read your captions, but there's a pretty good chance they'll glance at them, especially if they're funny. And now they've laughed about your tiny bathroom, and if they book, they're prepared, and maybe even a little interested to see this impossibly small space.
We have another space where the photographer got low with his wide-angle lens and shot over the bed. And it's a twin, but it looks like a California king. So in the caption, we just had to be honest, like, this is actually a twin bed. Don't let the photo fool you. It's just important to be honest. You want to look better than your competition, but at the same time, you want to tell the truth about your space so when people get there, you get great reviews. Several keys to booking great guests and staying booked are to plan your space around the needs of your target market, that ideal guest, outfit it on a reasonable budget, promote it in the best possible honest light, and be savvy about your pricing.
Airbnb's pricing algorithm has come a long way since the early days, and their smart pricing is definitely worth looking into. The trick is to do some math on your end and determine either what your space costs you per night or your lowest comfortable price and work from there. In the slower seasons, you have to get a bit more aggressive on pricing to stay competitive and stay booked. There are a handful of third-party pricing companies out there, and they're definitely worth looking into. In our Masterclass, we'll talk about them in more detail and share more tips and techniques to keep your Airbnb booked and making money.
The ability to turn your home into a profitable venture is just an amazing source of financial freedom. But it can come with plenty of traps, eating up your time, your money, your towels, and your emotional energy.
Our number one goal for you is freedom. So in our Masterclass, we're going to focus on the details you need to sort out before you begin to host.
The systems we use every day to keep it running smooth and efficiently.
The places we save money and increase our profit margin, like never ironing sheets and using leftover beer to entertain our friends.
The thing is, it's possible to make great money, only spend the time you have to, keep your guests 5-star happy, avoid conflicts, and get to really happy resolution when there is damage or loss, and generally stay happy and enjoy the hosting experience.
So in our next video, we're going to have an offer for you. And if you're ready to take your Airbnb hosting to the next level, we really hope it's helpful.
If you're already up and running, we're going to help you find ways to improve your efficiency, increase your profits, and generally have more fun and less hassle hosting.
And if you haven't started yet, we're going to equip you with the tools to get your own Airbnb up and running quickly, within your budget, confident and profitable from the very beginning.
And for those of you who have a space outside of your home, an apartment, a house, something detached, or even a side apartment on your own home, we have a lot of information to help you set those up because that's how we do most of ours. In the next couple days, we're going to be detailing the masterclass, explaining what's included, and opening the enrollment period. We're only making 30 spaces available to our first class, so if you're interested, you'll want to jump on it quickly. I know a number of you have already expressed interest, and that's awesome, and we cannot wait to get started.
Thank you again for joining us today and for making the world a better place to travel. We'll see you again really soon with details on the Masterclass.
And again, if you found this information helpful, we would love for you to share it. Is that a lot to ask? I don't think it is. Just hit the share button wherever it is.
And we'll see you soon.
This is exciting.
This is exciting.
I can get my sleeves rolled up for business here.
Oof. Do you have to change my hair?
I don't think so.
Hey, welcome back. You guys, this is so exciting. So many of you have reached out.
Painful aspects of being an Airbnb host. Is that a complete sentence?
No.
Help. We would love for you to share it. That's not a lot to ask.
And we'll see you soon. I said soon.
I hope we don't get sued for this. Nobody goes to cartoon theme park city with beach views. They go to Disney World. Hit the share button wherever that is. Help us. Help us all. Just hit the share button.
I don't want to snap.
I'm at the end. It's okay.
And using leftover beer to entertain our friends.
Was that a complete sentence?
I believe what I believe.